Hey, this is SJ Talks and Live coming back at you with another video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. If you're on your phone, it's that button right there. Ooh, it's hot out here today. It's September the 30th, 2023. It's a beautiful Saturday up here in Michigan. And it is hot. It's got to be 80 degrees out here. 80 degrees feels different now than it did maybe back in the summer because the climate is changing. Did you know that when the climate changes, temperatures feel different, even if it's the same temperature, even if it's the same temperature as it was back in the summer, it's feeling a little hotter because 80 degrees in July is not that hot. But it feels like it's about 90 degrees out here. And it's because it's the climate is changing. It's fall and the climate is changing. So when the climate changes, the temperatures feel differently. Even if it's the same temperature, it feels differently. 80 feels differently now than it did, say, back in July. And 80, that's perfect for the summer. 80 is a perfect temperature in the summer because it's not too hot, it's not too cool. But 80 in the fall is super hot. It feels like it's about 90 degrees out here. But I'm not going to complain because we're not going to get too many more of these days. So it's beautiful out. The leaves are starting to change and it's starting to turn colors. And yeah, it's beautiful out here. But anywho, if I'm talking funny, I bit my lip right here. And it's like when I talk, it's kind of protruding. So when I talk, um, I'm trying to bite it again when it feels like I'm gonna bite it again when I talk. So that's if I'm talking funny or whatever, that's probably why. I bit my lip. I bit my tongue. God, you guys ever did that? You know how painful it is. I bit down on it extremely hard. I was like, oh! And then, lo and behold, the other day I turned around and bit my lip right there. So it's kind of protruding out. So it almost feels like I'm gonna bite it again. So I'm trying really hard not to. So if I'm talking funny, that's probably why. But anyway, I hear a lot of women on here. A lot of women on here are starting to come on here and talking. A lot of women are talking about singleness. I'm seeing more and more women do videos about women of all ages, not just older women, young women. They're really starting to embrace. More women are starting to embrace singleness and being child free. And there's a lot of women that are coming on here talking about expressing the benefits that they're getting from and the disadvantages for being a wife. A lot of women, and I'm talking young women in their 30s, are starting to embrace singleness. They're really starting to embrace singleness and see the benefits of being single. There's benefits to being married too, but more women. I'm just listening. Maybe they're just popping up in my algorithm because I be watching them. But I'm seeing more and more videos of women talking about singleness and how they're embracing it. And these are women of all ages. And so now the manosphere would like to believe, the red pill community would like to believe that, oh, they only talking about being single because they're bitter. They're bitter because they don't have no man. That's a good question. Are single women that pro single women, I'll call them pro single women, are they bitter? Because I'm embracing singleness too. I didn't jump on the train too. I'm embracing singleness as well, and I'm starting to see the benefits of being single. Um, that's a good question. Are we bitter? It's a fair question. It's a fair question. It really is a fair question when you really think about it. When you really stop and marinate on it and think about it, it is kind of a fair question. Are pro single women, women that are always talking about being single and how they love it and the advantages and all this kind of stuff, and talk about the reasons why they don't want to be married and all this kind of stuff. Are they bitter? Are they bitter? Are we? I'll say we because I didn't jump on the train too. Are we bitter? Good question. Um, some women, I would say some women may be coming from a place of bitterness. It depends on the woman. I think it depends on, because it just seems like when I talk, it's like it feels like it's going back into my teeth. You know, because I got this, it hurts. So just bear with me. But some women have, you have to understand, some women have been through a lot. Some women have been through a lot. Some women have, there's a YouTuber by the name of Jules Lowell. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right. Jules Lowell. If you're looking at this video, lady, sis, forgive me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but she's always, she talks about the advantages of being single, and she also educates women on, because she was in a domestic violence type situation, and her videos are very informative as far as, you know, that information, and she talks about singleness and the you know, educates women on the red flags to look for in men and all those kind of things. And a lot of men like to assume that, you know, she is bitter, along with some other women on YouTubers on here that talk about it. And a lot of she gets accused of being bitter because she talks about her marriage a lot when she was in her abusive marriage. And some women have been through a lot. Some women have been through a lot of stuff. And they just don't want to get to a place to where some women get to a place to where I just don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered no more with no man if they've been through a lot. If they've been in, especially particularly if they was in an abusive marriage or relationship, or some women have been in more than one abusive type situation. Some women just kind of just throw the chips in and say, look, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to be bothered with no man no more. And they just get to the place to where they are embracing singleness because they don't want to, it's not worth the risk. You know, they'd rather remain single because it's not worth the risk of getting involved with another man. And they're on their guard. And so they should be. And so some women, it's not, I wouldn't go as far as to say bitterness, but they've been through a lot. They've been in abusive, it's like I did it again. They've been in the abusive marriages or relationships, and they just feel more at peace being single. You know, there's a certain amount of peace that comes with being single, you know. And so some women are just, you know, they don't want to be bothered. They just don't want to be bothered with no man no more, you know. And so that's the case for some women, but for some women, I would say maybe some women it might be a bitter situation. Some women may be bitter, you know. Some women it may be bitterness, but some women just been through a lot. But some women, I wouldn't put all women in the bitterness category that is embracing singleness, because it depends on the individual woman. Every woman is different, you know, and every woman has their reason. The woman, if that woman embraces singleness and don't really have a desire to get married, every woman that's at that place has her reasons for being at that place. And some women, you know, they've been single. Like in my case, I've been single for so long to the point that I didn't got used to it by now. There was a time I really did want to get married, but you know, I didn't been single for so long that I got to the place I didn't got used to it. I didn't got settled in my ways. I gotta be honest, you know, I got settled in my ways, and I didn't got used to it by now, and and things have changed with me over the past 3 years as far as physically. I've had some physical changes as far as my back issues and my leg issues. And when my back and leg issues came on, I really didn't feel, you know, I was kind of feeling that way beforehand, but once that happened, I really didn't feel that desire to get married, because to have a mate, because all I could think about was associate a husband with work, you know, with having to, you know, come on, we gotta be honest, you know, men have requirements. They have requirements. They want you to be cleaning, you know, they want you to be cooking. Now, don't get me wrong. I like to clean. I actually like to clean, but I like to do it at my own pace and do it in my own time and at my own pace. And I don't have to worry about somebody breathing down my back talking about, you know, if, you know, everybody got different standards. And I would hate to marry somebody that their standards are extremely high as far as the way a house should be. Because women are judged. It seems like to me, women are judged by how they keep their house, you know. This is such a sexist world. They don't judge men by how they keep it. Women are really judged in that area. If another woman comes over to your house and you don't do things in your house the way they would do them in their house, they're judging you. They may not say nothing, but in their mind, they're judging you. Because your house might not necessarily be nasty, but your house might not be the way they would keep their house. Everybody is different. Everybody is different. And I've been guilty of that myself. It's misogyny is what it is. Do you know women can be misogynist? Women can be misogynist. Stay tuned. I'm going to talk about that. Women can be misogynistic. I've been guilty of that too. I went to people's house and the house wasn't necessarily nasty. Now, I have been in some nasty houses, but the house wasn't necessarily nasty, but maybe not the way I would do things. And it kind of you back in mind, you're judging a little bit. You kind of. Everybody do things differently. Everybody ain't going to do things like you do it. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make it wrong. It just makes it different. So if you marry somebody and his standards he has certain standards on how a house should be kept, he's going to expect his wife to keep the house according to those standards. You know, a lot of men want home cooked meals. You know, some of these men get into marriage because they want a maid. You know, they want a live-in maid. If that's what you want, you should hire one. They don't just want a wife, they want a maid and a sex slave. That's what they want. A lot of women ain't jumping to sign up for all that. And so when especially particularly 3 years ago, when I really became disabled, I was like, you know what, I don't know if I want to be bothered with no husband now. I mean, I was kind of feeling that way beforehand because I don't want that kind of pressure. You know, I want to cook when I want to cook. I want to clean when I want to clean. You know, and do it in my time. I have to pace myself. And sometimes I need to sit down and take a break. And sometimes I have to put things on the back burner and wait and hold off on it. I don't want nobody breathing down my back saying, oh, you should have did this and you should have did that. And having all these expectations. Where's my breakfast? Where's my dinner? Because you keep doing stuff for a man. It's like if you do things in the beginning, you got to keep on doing it. You got to keep doing it. You got to keep it up. Because they start to expect it after a while. They expect it. They have expectations. And then when it comes to the bedroom, they have expectations there too. You know? Y'all might not be in agreement on how many times a week you're going to be intimate. Y'all might not be on the same page on that. Some women ain't trying to deal with all that. And so that's my thing. I'm being a little blunt. But you know, I might want to, if I get married, I might only want to bag it up 3 times a week. You might want me to bag it up every day. Well, you know what? My legs and back hurt. You know, I can't bag it up for you every day. Let's be real here. Let's be honest. That's what the expectations are. You know, a man want to cook in the kitchen. Most of the time they want to cook in the kitchen and they want to whore in the bedroom. Let's keep it real. That's what men want. And they want a maid to keep the house clean. Most of the time, that's why men want to get married. They want somebody, particularly these older men and us women of a particular age. We got to be careful because, you know, older men, you know, they're checking for older, you know, because most of the time the men our age want something younger. We got to be a little suspicious if they're looking for someone our age or older, because they might want somebody to be a nursemaid to take care of them, and you know, to be their nursemaid. So if you're a woman of a particular age and you're with a man that's older, around your age or older, then you got to stop and think, you know, okay, you better carry him to the doctor, get his health checked, make sure he ain't got no major health issues and stuff like that. You know? So that's something to think about. So, you know, I think about all that stuff. They talk about it on YouTube as well. And so a lot of women are, and it's not coming from a place of bitterness. Maybe that might be the case for some women, but every woman pro-single, I say pro-single, woman that embraces singleness, they have their reasons for. Some women may be bitter, some women maybe not. You know? Some women are they just enjoy being single and being on their own and just marching to their own beat. You know? Some women, they want to date and just date men and they don't want nothing serious. It just depends on the woman. Some women, you know, it just depends on the person. I think all women are not at the same place. It's different reasons why women that are embracing singleness, it's different reasons why women have come to that decision. So don't be so quick to judge. It's not always coming from a place of bitterness, you know, because maybe that woman has done a lot of healing and she just, you know, embracing singleness, you know. Sometimes, yeah, healing does need to take place. So it just depends on the person. Okay, hit me up in the comment section, and you ladies out there, you're single, you love being single, you know, you're embracing singleness, you ain't trying to get married. Let me know what your thoughts are. And hit that like, subscribe, and share. Until the next video, you guys be blessed.